Do you remember the first sound that you heard that transported you out of where you were and into another place? Do you remember sounds without words that conveyed feelings so intense that you felt what it was? For me, if we peregrinate back to the early 1950s, that sound was the violin. From a very early age, I remember hearing my parents play records. And in particular, a violinist who I came to know was Nathan Milstein played such sounds that I knew were something that I really wanted to have. And it wasn't until years later that I discovered the shape of the instrument that produced that. And that was one of these. The amazing thing about this instrument is that it speaks volumes without having to say any words. Look at the shape. The shape is almost like an attractive woman. But there are things like the scroll, which is totally unfunctional and yet elaborately carved. There are the F-holes, again, which produce the sound. And if you can see, the top and the bottom are actually carved from a thick block of wood carefully so that each layer and each thickness produces amazing sounds. And so I've learned that sometimes using this to express my feelings is a little more effective than using words. And I'm going to share with you today 3 emotions that can be expressed using this amazing instrument. They are strength, stateliness, and sighing. Strength. One of the powers of the fact that we use a bow instead of plucking is the fact that the note can be sustained and attacked with great gusto. So in order to convey strength, we use the bottom part of the bow and attack. Or, as Mozart would say, so strength can be conveyed using energy and using attack. But the same instrument can produce a stateliness, which is like strength, only a little more self-possessed, a little more self-contained. As Bach would say, or as Handel would say, so not only strength, but a stateliness can be conveyed in such a way that I find very difficult to do with words alone. Words seem so inadequate for conveying what I really want to. And that is why it is actually more comfortable for me to be playing this instead of speaking before you today as I am now. So whether I want to convey strength or stateliness, I find it much more comfortable to do with this instrument. And one thing that has found more expression is a softer emotion, a sighing. Now, one of the beauties of playing a bowed instrument is not the sound that's produced when you take the tail end of a horse and scrape it across the entrails of a cat. But the fact that unlike a plucked instrument, The note can be sustained, the note can grow, the note can fade, much as a sigh. And that is something which I am attempting to find in some of my music. Or as Mendelssohn would say, or more recently, John Williams. So whether you want to express strength, stateliness, sighing, or even a perigorate pause, sometimes I can't help myself. Whether you want to express any other emotion, I urge you to find ways besides your words to express them. They don't have to be with one of these. They can be however you like to do it. But find that way of expressing the emotions that you have within you, and you will find that communication with others is much enhanced. Madam Toastmaster.